And good morning, high school football fans. Welcome to the High School Sports Roundup here on ESPN Radio, Coastal Georgia and Okefenokee. PJ Zucco here with you this morning, excuse me. It's been that kind of 24 hours there, but this morning here with you. I'm getting set for a huge Saturday all throughout Coastal Georgia and Okefenokee. Obviously have some huge college football games later today to look forward to. I believe there's a top 10 matchup in Athens that people are excited for at high noon, so I certainly can't wait for that. But before that, let's talk about last night and that full night of high school football we had. Now, what an exciting time it was. Some big wins for some Coastal Georgia and Okefenokee area teams. Some tough losses there last night as well, though. But let's go through them. A lot of teams looking forward to next week and looking forward to region play as well with some buys throughout the week. But hey, certainly still a lot to talk about here on the roundup this morning. But let's go through these scores from last night and see what happened all around the area. A couple of those big wins coming from Coastal Georgia teams. Brunswick High with a 56-21 victory there in Glenn County Stadium last night. And certainly didn't let any distractions or anything like that get in the way. As Coach Sean Pender talked about on Thursday, the Pirates get the win, 56-21 there over South Effingham, and just rolling their 28-7 lead at halftime, and they get it done there with a 56-21 victory. The Pirates still undefeated. They moved to 2-0, in region play. Some high fly in their plays later last night as majority of the time we're talking about that rushing game and some big rushing touchdowns for Brunswick High. Last night, it was all, not all, it was not all, some big rushing touchdowns as well, but some huge passing touchdowns for the Pirates as well, able to take the top off the defense there and go over the top, and had 567 yards on 39 snaps, offensive snaps there. And we're going to get more into that in just a second here as we go through and continue the roundup. Glen Academy with the 35-12 victory over Bradwell Institute last night. They're at Bradwell and able to pull away in the second half, 28-0 run there in the second half to win that one. Bradwell able to get in the end zone late, but the Glen Academy led 7-6 at halftime, really took control there in the third quarter and moving forward in we'll talk about more of this later as well. In a wacky night when it comes to officiating, but a fun night if you're a Glen Academy Red Terror fan, able to get that first region win as well, move back to 1-1 in region play, and an important win moving forward. Now we'll see how these Red Terrors keep moving forward and progressing and doing exactly that. But as for last night, some tough losses as well. Some in some really close games, some in some games that are more of a surprise. But either way, McIntosh County Academy falls to ECI last night, and ECI, that's a dang good football team. One loss on the year, big wins over the course of the year as well. Beat Savannah Christian there earlier in the season, pretty handily there. Also, and McIntosh County Academy falls to ECI there as ECI able to run the football really well and just not get a lot going offensively there last night, falling 17-6. It was Rabun County with the victory over Pierce County there as well, 28-21. And the Pierce County Bears, doing a great job holding down that prolific Rabun County offense, as obviously a quarterback there at Rabun County committed to Georgia and going to be, high flying type of quarterback there. But Pierce County defensively able to honestly play pretty well, hold them to 28 points, just not able to square things up there. And Rabun County able to get the win 28-21 over Pierce. You have Warner Robins, and this is a surprising one. Warner Robins, the 77-34 victory over Camden County, and just everything clicking offensively for Warner Robins last night. Just able to control that game. Camden County falls in that one. And now two straight losses for the Wildcats over the last few weeks and moving into region play here soon. So Camden County obviously want to get back on the charge, but played two very good high school football teams there as well over the past few weeks. Of course, you have the loss to Coffee and more of a defensive struggle, and then kind of the offensive explosion last night in that Warner Robins game. But Turner County as well. Turner County gets the victory, the surprise victory over Charlton County last night, 13-7 over Charlton. And Charlton undefeated on the year before last night, just coming off of the loss of the victory, to Clinch County in overtime. How much of it was kind of a emotional hangover there for Charlton County? Who knows? You go on the road as well. So right after you get a huge victory in overtime, rivalry game, big region game, you go on the road and kind of, sadly lay a bit of a dud. Turner County able to play very solid defense, hold Charlton there to only 7. And just a tough night for Charlton County. They come away with their first loss of the season, but they'll move forward still in region play here, and still certainly time to patch things up and move forward. You have Ware County, Wayne County, Brantley County, and Frederica Academy all off this week, preparing for those remaining region schedules for all those teams. As you look, I mean, we're at the beginning of October here. You have 4 more Fridays in October, and then the last week of the regular season there on November 5th. So we've made it. We're on the back half of this schedule for most of these teams, and for the entire regular season schedule as well. So these teams on bye weeks last night really preparing and getting set for their most important stretch of the season, and set it on High School First Look there on Thursday. Yeah, 5 now obviously past one, but yeah, 5 Fridays in October. Most of these region schedules starting in October, with the exception of Brunswick High Glen Academy starting last week, and Charlton County starting as well. But I mean, 5 Fridays in October would say that this probably, the most important month of the regular season, and really sets you up for that last week of the regular season as well, there on November 5th. So, I mean, this is what you work so hard for and prepare for, is really this month of region games and getting everything squared away, winning the important ones, and moving forward. And Brunswick High, Glen Academy, both able to do that there last night. The Pirates defeat South Effingham 56-21. And from our good friends there at the Brunswick News, from the Brunswick News, 567 yards on 39 snaps there against South Effingham. You have Sutton Ellis with a big 52-yard touchdown pass to open the scoring there to Jacoby Hill. Then you have the rushing game start to click there as well for Brunswick High. Once again, Reese Simmons, 2 rushing touchdowns back-to-back, one after a big defensive stop. Obviously, the defense a huge part of Brunswick High's success. Don't want to look over that with all of the offensive stats, but obviously huge success there by the defense. A 4th and 1 stop in South Effingham territory to give the ball to the Brunswick High offense there early, and have Reese Simmons punch it in for one of his 2 rushing touchdowns on the night. Then you have Jeffrey Way come in the ball game, and you've heard Sean Pender say, listen, we have some good quarterbacks. We're not afraid to swap them back and forth. They've been doing it all year, and obviously they're undefeated. They've been successful at doing so all year, and they're gonna play the hot hand. And last night the hot hand was Jeffrey Way, even after a big touchdown pass there by Sutton Ellis and him playing well. Jeffrey Way still just comes in and lights it up. 39-yard touchdown pass to TJ Smith. He had a couple more touchdown passes to Terry Mitchell, who also lit up the night there in the receiving game. But a 78-yard touchdown pass to Terry Mitchell, followed by a 25-yard touchdown pass on 4th and 8. So very important down there, obviously, for Brunswick High, and able to convert the 4th and 8 and put it into the end zone as well. Terry Mitchell himself had another receiving touchdown from Tommy Weatherspoon. That's 3 receiving touchdowns on the night for a $162 for Terry Mitchell. So huge night in the receiving game for Mitchell, and really for Brunswick High as a whole, with their offensive firepower, just to being able to showing if you show something in your defensive scheme or just the way your defense plays, Brunswick High can hit you over the top. They just don't need to all the time. They just run the football that well. Last night, they were able to hit South Effingham over the top and hit it in the passing game and convert those big plays in the touchdown. So Brunswick High just really feeling it right now, undefeated on the year, 2-0 now in region play. And Glen Academy starts to feel it, I think, there in the second half of their game with Bradwell Institute last night. 7-6 lead at halftime. A little back and forth there in the first half. Will say a lot of controversial instances, calls from the referees in that one. Normally, I don't say that. Normally, I don't bring that up. Let kind of the conversation happen around that, and have the coach share their points. But I will say, very odd things happening there in Bradwell last night, and had a situation where Glen Academy is there on the 1 yard line with time running down. Have a run play, go to call a timeout, and ref was just nowhere near Coach Dalgo trying to get a timeout there with a few seconds left on the clock. Time expires there going into the first half, and obviously he had a discussion with the referees after that, but they're not gonna put time back on the clock. So just very strange instances. A lot of conversations after plays between the referees. A lot of conversations with the coaches. It was just a very odd night when it came to that side of things. But either way, Glen Academy, especially that defense, they're able to gear up and cause some turnovers, make some big plays there in the second half, give short fields to the offense. And offensively, Zach Ellis was huge for the Red Terrors last night, being able to run the football, really be that workhorse last night in the running game. A couple rushing touchdowns to really one big rushing touchdown to really pull away for Glen Academy. Yeah, Tyler Devlin with a 1 yard rushing score as well. And talking about Devlin, the passing game able to work pretty effectively there last night as well, especially coming up in important downs. You have a huge touchdown, huge reception, about a 60-yard reception from Tyler Devlin to Greg Peacock there on 3rd and 15, which set up that first rushing touchdown for Zach Ellis, who was huge on that drive as well. A 5-yard rushing touchdown for Zach Ellis to open the scoring. And then on another play later in the game, you have a 3rd and 8 for Glen Academy. And again, Greg Peacock, the reception from Tyler Devlin, able to convert that. So some huge receptions by Greg Peacock there last night when Glen Academy needed the most. And of course, you have the rushing game working well, getting out to a big lead there in the second half, following a 28-0 run there in the third and fourth quarter for Glen Academy to really pull away. And again, sadly, McIntosh County Academy, they fall last night to ECI, and the pair in the running game for ECI just kind of too much last night. Again, PJ Farnham, Daquan Jones there for ECI, over 230 rushing the football and a touchdown on the ground there as well. Jones with a big rushing touchdown. Daquan Jones in the first half, and ECI leading there 10-0 at half. Hold on to it there in the second half as well for the 17-6 victory over McIntosh County Academy. But obviously some huge games there last night, some big wins by Coastal Georgia area teams with Brunswick High and Glen Academy. We'll hear from both of those coaches on the show this morning as we talk about Brunswick High moving to 2-0 in region play. Glen Academy 1-1 in region play as well, and an important win for the Red Terrors, getting that first win in region play and looking forward to some more big region games for both these teams moving forward. But we'll come back, talk to Sean Pender, head coach of the Brunswick High Pirates, here on the High School Sports Roundup, presented by Walker Jones at Chevrolet here on ESPN Radio, Coastal Georgia, and Okefenokee. We'll be right back. And welcome back to the High School Sports Roundup here on ESPN Radio, Coastal Georgia and Okefenokee, all presented by Walker Jones Chevrolet here on the Roundup. PJ Zucco here with you. Brunswick High gets the 56-21 victory over South Effingham last night. It was Glen Academy defeating Bradwell Institute 35-12 for a big region win there. McIntosh County Academy falls to ECI 17-6. Rabun County over Pierce County 28-21 in that one, and Turner County defeating Charlton County, giving Charlton County their first loss of the year. They're 13-7 in a big home win for Turner County. But as we mentioned, Brunswick High stays undefeated, and especially, most importantly, in region play, starting 2-0 there with a 56-21 victory over South Effingham. Joining us now, the head coach of the Brunswick High Pirates, Sean Pender, here with us on the High School Sports Roundup. Coach Pender, great to have you on. How you doing this morning?
Oh, it's good to be on, BJ. Always good to be on after a win anyway.
Yeah, absolutely, Coach, and great to have you on here this morning. And yeah, those mornings got to feel a little bit better when you get those big region wins, especially, Coach. And being able to play very well at home there last night, 56-21 over South Effingham, and another very important victory in region play.
Oh, definitely, and it was a good team victory too, so I'm excited about that as well.
Yeah, absolutely, Coach. And like you said, just a team all the way around, being able to play well and offensively put in some great positions there, obviously, by your defense, able to turn South Effingham away, but still offensively functioning really well. And the rushing game was working really well, but it looks like you guys able to find something there in that South Effingham defense to go over the top, make some big plays through the air, whether it was Sutton Ellis or Jeffrey Way, and Terry Mitchell having a big night receiving there as well with 3 touchdowns. But just able to find something through the air there against South Effingham and exploit it pretty well, play very well in the passing game last night.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's just, we've been running the ball very well throughout the year, and we've been honing in on our run game, and defense are looking at that thinking that we were one-dimensional. And that what happened last night was South Effingham just really, really tried to commit and bring the safeties down hard to help give more numbers in the box and help to stop the run game that we've been able to do or establish throughout the year. And then that just left holes over the top of their defense, and we took advantage of that. And with touchdown Terry Mitchell going over the top, he did great. And then TJ Smith had a breakout game as well in the receiving core. Jacoby Hill did his stuff on the ground and in the air. And then it was just a good team effort. Everyone just worked real hard. I'm very proud of the way our offensive line and running backs picked up the blitz. South Effingham was trying to bring the blitz all night long, trying to get our quarterback, and the pass protection that we were able to do to give the quarterbacks, no matter who it was that was in there, give them time to make good throws. And so I'm very proud of Sutton, Jeffrey, and Tommy. All 3 of them had touchdown passes, and they all did a really good job when they were in there.
Yeah, absolutely. As you mentioned, like a team effort, and a lot of people, don't think about that up front, especially when you have a good night in the passing game. But those offensive linemen and blockers, running backs in support as well, not only blocking well for the running game and important in the running game, but extremely important in the passing game as well. Certainly helps when you don't have a quarterback running for your life or anything like that, and can stand in there and deliver good accurate throws.
Oh, yeah, we had 3 different quarterbacks. Usually here I was talking about having 3 different running backs.
Yeah, right.
But we had 3 different quarterbacks in this game, and the only quarterback that got his jersey dirty was he decided to have one little quarterback run and he got tackled. Besides that, the other 2 quarterbacks didn't get touched all night long, and that's a tremendous credit to the offensive line, the pass protection that they received.
Absolutely, and going to get back to the offense for sure, Coach, but defensively able to hold South Effingham down all night, make some big plays there defensively. I know one of those touchdowns coming right after a 4th and 1 stop in South Effingham territory there early in the game. So still defensively able to keep playing well there. I know that black flag defense hoisting up the colors there last night and playing extremely well.
Yeah, they're playing good. We gave up, 2 long runs to very. South Effingham has got a couple of talented kids that they get in the secondary, they can break and go, and
Right.
we've been doing a really good job of containing them. But he got loose twice last night. Just one time we made a mistake on a missed tackle and had a nice 70-yard run, and besides that, the defense shut them down. And they had one other long run where they did little trap, and we accidentally blitzed ourselves out the play and gave them a nice hole, and there they went. Besides that, our defense shut them down. Their last score came off of a muff punt that we shouldn't have tried to field inside the 5-yard line. We muffed it, gave them the ball, and gave them an easy touchdown at the end of the game.
Yeah, tough one there. As you mentioned, that they got some playmakers over there as well, but able to hold them down for most of the night there with that defense of Brunswick High and play well. We're talking to Sean Pender, head coach of the Brunswick High Pirates, here on the High School Sports Roundup. Get the 56-21 victory over South Effingham last night. But again, Coach, as you mentioned, at the receiving game working really well. Obviously, passing game playing very well there last night with all 3 quarterbacks. And TJ Smith, like you said, having a solid night, breakout night, big touchdown from him. But also, I mean, touchdown Terry Mitchell, you said it. 3 touchdowns on the night, over $160 through the air from a couple different quarterbacks there with Jeffrey Way and Tommy Witherspoon there in the game. But, Coach, what does Terry Mitchell bring to the table? Obviously able to get behind the defense there last night. But just as a whole, what does he bring to the table, to the team, and what was he able to do so well last night?
Oh, he's electric. Players like we knew he was going to be special. He's only a sophomore. But, early in the JV season, he just was lighting it up, and he had 8 touchdowns on 10 catches in JV. So we started implementing varsity just a little bit here and there. With the injury to Jaden Drayton, and with him not being in there, and then with what Terry was able to do on the varsity level versus Glenn, we saw him do some nice stuff there. New Hampstead on in special teams on kick return. We're going to try to get the ball in this kid's hands and see if we can do it on a Friday night like he does on Thursday. And that kid was something special. You remember a little while back there was a player named Percy Harvin from Florida.
Oh yeah,
that's touchdown Terry. He's that type of kid. He's a little old thing. You won't think much of him until that ball's in his hand, and when that ball's in his hand, watch out.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said, that there's players like that for sure. And once they get the ball in their hands, it's like they see the field a different way. And Terry Mitchell able to do exactly that last night. And sounds like looking forward to some more big nights and some more big plays like that from Terry Mitchell there in the future. But Coach, as you mentioned, not only the passing game, running game still able to work well. Jacoby Hill, he gets a touchdown through the air there as well from Sutton Ellis, who also played well. But also having the running game, Reese Simmons able to knock in a few touchdowns there in the rushing game too. So wasn't all the passing game. Obviously, rushing game still able to do their thing there on the night and keep South Effingham honest. Obviously, pulling more people into the box.
Oh, without a doubt. And then the rushing game is the credit to why the passing game works so well. It's just what we were able to establish on the ground just made them come on up, and we were able to get good plays. I think we had 1 touchdown every 5 plays was the average. I think we had 39 plays on the night, and we were able to have a lot of big explosive plays because of how our rushing game has been. The safeties came up and they picked poison, and we were able to go over the top, and the players executed. So that was a big deal. I'm very proud of our team for doing that.
No doubt about that. So able to lock that one up and grab that 56-21 victory over South Effingham last night. And you had it right there, Coach, from the Brunswick News. 39 snaps, 567 yards there on the night offensively for the Pirates. So stay undefeated, 2-0 now in region play. And Coach, we'll talk about more about this on High School First Look throughout the week. But moving week to week here, you have Statesboro now, and a big road trip there to Statesboro as they're coming off the victory last night over Richmond Hill. So they're looking pretty solid right now. Got a big region matchup coming up this week.
Oh, absolutely. Part of the reason I was up so early today breaking down film is we're going to be in a tough matchup going up to Statesboro, it's not easy. Whenever you have to go to their stadium and play, there tends to be a lot of different types of adversity that you have to go through, and we're going to be preparing for that type of adversity, and we're going to have a good solid game plan. We're going to make sure our kids are prepared. We talked about in the locker room last night. Hey, this is a big one. Let's put this game behind us and let's move forward and be ready to play our hearts out next Friday night because we're going to have to get a victory in Statesboro.
Statesboro coming off that victory last night. Close one, but still a win over Richmond Hill there last night. Brunswick High, though, undefeated, 2-0 in region play after the victory of South Effingham, and looking forward to a big matchup there with Statesboro next week. But Sean Pender, head coach of the Brunswick High Pirates, our guest here on the High School Sports Roundup. Coach, again, great talking to you this morning. Congrats on the win there last night, and best of luck as you look forward and move forward here throughout this week.
All right. Thank you, PJ. Thanks for having me on, man, and take care. Have a good day.
I appreciate it, Coach, and great to have you on again. Sean Pender, head coach of the Brunswick High Pirates, here with us on the High School Sports Roundup. So great to have Coach on there again, and the Pirates still off to this undefeated start and 2-0 in region play. That's the important thing, and looking to stay that way with a big matchup with Statesboro coming up here on Friday. And as he said, big road trip there as well. But love to see what the Pirates are doing, and offensively just explosive. As he said, the running game really pulling everyone up into the box for South Effingham. And I give a lot of credit. Now, didn't talk to him about it there, as we've talked about it a lot here throughout the year. But I give a lot of credit to these quarterbacks there at Brunswick High as well. Of course, having the competitive edge and wanting to be there in there for every single snap, but playing unselfishly as well, and realizing that there's other really solid, talented quarterbacks there on the roster, and if they're playing in an extremely good way, that they're going to get the snaps. And I mean, Sutton Ellis comes out, big touchdown pass to Jacoby Hill, and then you have Jeffrey Way with 3 huge touchdown passes as well. Even Tommy Weatherspoon there in the game, able to throw a touchdown pass too. So these guys competitive, of course, as I said, want to be out there every single play, but still able to step aside for their teammates and have them come in and have big games as well. And as Coach Sean Pender said, I mean, huge team effort, offensively, defensively, running game, passing game, special teams, to be able to get this second win in region play for Brunswick High. But Glen Academy able to do the same thing there last night, get a big victory over Bradwell Institute, and it was the full team there in the second half putting things together to have Glen Academy pull away from Bradwell and get that big win away from home, 35-12. When we come back, we'll talk about this team win, big win for the Red Terrors with Rocky Hidalgo, head coach of Glen Academy, and the Red Terrors here on the High School Sports Roundup, presented by Walker Jones Chevrolet on ESPN Radio Coastal Georgia and Okefenokee. We'll be right back after this. And welcome back. High School Sports Roundup here on ESPN Radio, Coastal Georgia and Okefenokee, all presented by Walker Jones Chevrolet here on the Roundup. PJ Zucco here with you this morning as we look at all these big high school football games from last night. Glen Academy able to get a big region win over Bradwell Institute, 35-12. It was Brunswick High defeating South Effingham 56-21 there last night as well. ECI defeating McIntosh County Academy 17-6. Pierce falls to Rabun County 28-21, and Turner County defeating Charlton County. Charlton County's first loss of the year there, 13-7 last night. But Glen Academy getting a big region victory there at Bradwell Institute, 35-12. And joining us now, the head coach of those Red Terrors, Rocky Hidalgo, here with us on the High School Sports Roundup. Coach Hidalgo, great to have you on this morning. How's it going?
Oh, man, it's going okay.
Well, good, Coach, good to hear it. Coming on after that solid victory there last night and big region win over Bradwell Institute, 35-12. 7-6 lead there at halftime, but really able to take control, pull away with some big defensive stops, big offensive plays there, obviously, in the second half to get the victory over Bradwell.
Yeah, the first half was interesting. I'm just going to say that. We had, I don't think we particularly inspired, probably have a little hangover from the Brunswick game. Officiating made the first half really exciting.
Right.
But defensively, the second half, our kids came out and we played some really good defense, honestly, in the second half. We were physical. Cannon Warren played, I think, the best half football he's played since he's been at Glen Academy. Really was physical, came downhill, tackled people, separated the guy from the ball, had an interception. Was really proud of the way he played. That gave us a short field for our offense, and we were able to capitalize on those turnovers.
Yeah, absolutely, Coach. And I mean, you brought it up. Let's get it out of the way quick here. There's some big officiating blunders there throughout the night there last night. And as we said during the break, you kind of go round and round all day about everything that was wrong or went on there, especially in the first half. My big question also, though, what was, I guess, the explanation there as going into halftime? You're looking for a timeout and looking for a referee and that you don't have one around you as the play clock and the clock is going down and you're on the 1 yard line and obviously not able to get a play off because not able to call a timeout or anything like that. It was just very, very interesting turn of events there to end the half.
Yeah, interesting is a good term to use. You said blunders, I did not. So in case anybody's listening,
right. No, absolutely.
I didn't say blunders. I would say it was. I don't even have an adjective to describe it. I assumed when they blew the whistle to stop the clock, they were doing it because I was calling timeout. And they said the half was over. So there wasn't really an explanation. They just said the half was over. And that was kind of what they did. And so we walked back to the locker room. That was it. I don't have anything for you, man. We had 3 plays before our back ran out of bounds. They didn't stop the clock and we ran 40 seconds off the clock. So there should have been an additional 40 seconds on the clock. There were lots of just exciting moments with the officiating crew last night in Hinesville.
Yeah, no, for sure. And as you said, that was, like you said, that was my term there. And there were plenty of them last night. Now we'll talk about that and talk more about that here in a few minutes.
I think my favorite was fifth down. That was my favorite. Was fifth down.
Yeah.
That was exciting because you get do-overs sometimes, but you very seldom do you get a fifth down. But when you get a fifth down, that's like a down better than fourth down. So you have fourth down.
Yeah, I mean,
fifth down is even better than fourth down. It's a fifth down.
Right.
I thought that was good too.
Yeah, it's almost like it shouldn't exist. And we're not talking about. We're not talking about.
Almost like it's not in the rule book, but still.
Yeah.
So
wild things, but no, absolutely. Yeah, some wild things there last night, but again, able to really take control there in the second half. And like you said, some big plays on both sides of the ball. But Coach, offensively, Zach Ellis really kind of taking command of the running game there last night and doing a great job being kind of the workhorse. Some big rushing touchdowns. Really leaned on him in the first half, and then obviously in the second half, able to break away a few times.
Yeah, Zach played really well. John Moody was out with an ankle injury. Hopefully, have him back next week.
Right.
I think Fred Riles did a good job coming and running the ball. Greg Peacock. Everybody, I've said all along, Greg Peacock's going to be a star one day. And, Greg P is a star. He's an incredible player.
Oh, yeah.
He took over the game with the ball in his hands last night. He was just electric. And, we got to get the ball to him more. I was thinking about the officiating again. I think the word I would use would be innovative because,
Right.
I think that's what it was. I think it was innovative. I think we did some things in the game last night that was truly innovative and will probably change the way the game is officiated across the entire sport.
Absolutely.
That's what I think. That's the word I would use. People will probably go back and look at that film and there'll be an annotated moment in history where people say this is the night that changed football, the fifth down. All right, go ahead, continue. Sorry.
No, you're good. No, I mean I completely understand, and I'm right there with you. So I'm right there with you for sure. But like you said, Greg Peacock making some huge plays there last night on him. I mean, huge plays and on important downs as well. You had a 3rd and 15, huge reception from him from Tyler Devlin, and another 3rd down able to convert there with Peacock. So making some huge plays there last night in the passing game, and just all around there for Greg Peacock. But Rocky Hidalgo, head coach of the Glen Academy Red Terrors, joining us here on the High School Sports Roundup. And coach, offensively play well and defensively really able to turn around it and take over the second half as well, causing some big turnovers there. Some big stops as well on 4th down, and being able to put the offense in some good positions on the plus side of the field.
I think it was the team effort in the second half. We kind of got on our kids, challenged them at halftime. We kind of had to get up. Once we got that first turnover, we got a little energy. We just didn't have a lot of energy last night and really didn't at practice. Once we got that first turnover, we got some energy, and it was kind of like a tsunami after that. We kind of got downhill on them.
Yeah, Coach, for sure. And you talk about that. Obviously, we'll talk more about this later in the week, but building that energy momentum here following a big, solid victory, and a lot to look forward to with the region play as well for Glen Academy. How's South Effingham at home coming up this week? But obviously, looking to build on this, move forward, and carry that energy over throughout the week.
Yeah, no doubt. We've still got some tough games in front of us, and we're not there yet. I mean, it's taken some time here. We've got some things still to work out on offense. But I think our team's making progress. It's slow progress, but I think we're making progress, and hopefully we'll kind of get that breakout game and really get rolling downhill.
The Red Terrors able to play through a little bit of adversity there in the first half and control the second half, grab a victory over Bradwell Institute on an innovative night, absolutely, for officiating and everything like that going on there in Bradwell. But the Red Terrors, either way, able to come away with a victory 35-12. Rocky Hidalgo, head coach of the Red Terrors, our guest here on the High School Sports Roundup. Coach, great to have you on this morning here and talking about the win. Congratulations on the win, but best of luck as you move forward throughout region play.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach. And Rocky Hidalgo, head coach of the Red Terrors, Glen Academy, here with us on the High School Sports Roundup. And we'll come back. I mean, there's a lot that we talked about there. There's a lot that we didn't even talk about, and obviously wanted to talk about the team as well. But I'll share a few more exciting moments from last night that Rocky and the Glen Academy Red Terrors had to deal with last night as well. But and then get you set for some college football and go through the scores one more time here on the High School Sports Roundup on ESPN Radio, Coastal Georgia, and Okefenokee, all presented by Walker Jones Chevrolet. And welcome back to High School Sports Roundup here on ESPN Radio, Coastal Georgia, and Okefenokee, all presented by Walker Jones Chevrolet. PJ Zucco here with you this morning. And Brunswick High able to get the 56-21 victory over South Effingham. Glen Academy over Bradwell Institute 35-12. MCA falls to ECI 17-6. It was Rabun County with the 28-21 victory over Pierce County. Warner Robins defeating Camden County 77-34, and Turner County defeating Charlton County there 13-7. So Glen Academy looking forward to South Effingham next week. Brunswick High at Statesboro, who just got the victory over Richmond Hill last night in a close one there, but still Statesboro able to get the win. So the Borough playing well this year, and looking forward to some big games next week. You have Warner Robins again beating Camden County 77-34. And they're obviously in this Ware County region, as Warner Robins off next week. But you look at Ware County at Coffee next week, taking on Warner Robins the week after that. Wayne County gets Veterans next week, coming off the bye week. So some big weeks coming up there in 5A. But yeah, just a few more from that. And again, I said this during the break to Coach Hidalgo. I normally don't talk about officiating or bring that type of stuff up. I kind of let other people talk about it if they want to, as I realize that, it's a tough job that not a lot of people want to do. But it was just rough last night. It is what it is. But so some more from the greatest hits there. You have fifth down, of course. You have a penalty in which the refs had a conversation with Rocky Hidalgo, and it was marked off as 5 yards. And Coach Hidalgo said, guys, it's a 10-yard penalty, right? And they said, oh, okay. And they move it back to 10 yards, which wild, just insane. You have a defensive pass interference penalty on the Red Terrors. And I will say it was on both sides last night. Very much both teams had to deal with what was going on and got bad calls. But you have defensive pass interference on a play that was run to one side of the field, and defensive pass interference was called on the other side of the field, which you can have defensive holding. That's one thing, but it was marked off and called as defensive pass interference, although the ball was thrown to the completely other side of the field. So is what it is. Both teams had to play with it, and certainly both teams were affected by it. I will say that. But either way, you look for a little bit more. But it is what it is. We'll move forward from that. Some big wins there last night, some big region wins for Glen Academy and Brunswick High. And for McIntosh County Academy, looking to move forward. ECI is a really good football team, and McIntosh County Academy is as well. They're going to move on from this, I think, and be able to go through the rest of their region schedule, I think, and kind of control every game if they're able to come back from that. Pierce County, some big region games to look forward to after holding an explosive Rabun County offense to only 28 points, last night. So some big games, some even bigger games to look forward to through the rest of October. This has been the High School Sports Roundup on ESPN Radio, Coastal Georgia, and Okefenokee, presented by Walker Jones Chevrolet. I'm PJ Zucco. Hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend. Stay safe. God bless.